Joining me now is Dr. Ansel Augustine, the author of Praying with Our Feet, Encountering God in the Margins, and he is also the Assistant Director for African American Affairs at the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Dr. Ansel, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's great to be back here with my This Is the Day and Catholic TV family.
Yeah, and it's my first time talking to you.
All right.
So when people hear the name of your book, Praying with Our Feet, they might be wondering, what is that about?
Yeah, correct. I've shared that title with some of my friends back home, and if they're not in ministry or doing church work, they're like, what does that mean? And it's simply this. It's goes back to um, a rabbi during the civil rights movement that was challenged during the civil rights movement about him being in the streets with the people rather than in church. And he said, well, I'm here to pray with my feet. And for us, it's a challenge for us as people of faith to not only pray, but put our prayer into action and serve those on the margins and most vulnerable, as Pope Francis has called us to do, and as the church has continually called us to do. So praying with our feet, that's what it means.
And when I read the description for your book, I was thinking Pope Francis would have really liked this book. And, obviously a lot of us are thinking about him with his recent death. So I'm curious, why do you think God placed it on your heart to minister to the marginalized?
Well, that's my community. So even though I'm here at the USCCB now, the majority of my ministry has been with the people in the streets, with my young people back home in New Orleans, young adults, people in the cultural communities, those that are addicted, homeless, whoever. And one of my favorite ministries and most fulfilling and fruitful ministries has been in our prisons. And New Orleans is number one for mass incarceration, unfortunately, in the world. And so the reality is, if I'm truly ministering to God's people, we need to be in those spaces and places as well. And I get filled more than probably the prisoners do by that relationship and that connection. So that's the important piece.
And I'm glad you brought up prison ministry because I did want to ask you about that. Do the prisoners that you meet with feel forgotten by society?
Oh, yes. Whenever I'm there, in fact, there's a system called JPay, where you buy electric stamps to send emails back and forth. And they're always emailing me about when you're coming back, doc, blah, blah, blah. And some of them, it turns into a confession type period, although I'm not a priest. But they're sharing things with me that they normally wouldn't share with people because of that safe space we create when we do the retreats in the prisons themselves. But also, they share how lonely they are. They're there for years, and after a while, families, friends, they get tired of going back and forth on a regular basis, and thus they feel like nobody cares about them. And the reminder is God cares about you. And in that space, when they feel cared about, and anybody on the margins, they care back in a way that you normally don't receive from other people.
And what's your experience been like with prisoners who have been released from jail and are now trying to reintegrate into society? Because I understand that that's a really hard process. And some men who've been in jail end up committing another crime, going right back into jail if they don't have the right community and support around them.
And that's why it's important. The recidivism is large because of the lack of resources and opportunities or the lack of connections. So even for me, the men and women that I've ministered with, when they come out and they reach out, there's a network and society of people back home in New Orleans where I know call this person, call this person. And so there's a trusted network that's there to help these men and women. In fact, last time I was home visiting, I was walking down the street minding my business, and the gentleman pulled up on a bike. He recognized me. It was one of these men that were out, and I didn't recognize him initially. And we were grabbing coffee, and that's when it hit me where I knew this man from. And from then, every day, we're checking in. He's checking on me more than I'm checking on him, But just those moments where God's grace happens. God shows me that there's work that needs to be done, but it's through prayer that each of us use our own gifts and build that network to help those in society. And that's what it's been about for me, and especially when we look at helping our men and women that are coming back, trying to reintegrate into society.
So what's your advice to people who might not feel like they are marginalized, but they want to help the marginalized? Can someone who's, never been to jail or never been arrested help someone who has been in jail, and how can they do that?
Well, it goes back to what, Pope Francis has modeled for us. We all have a purpose and an important part of our human connections. We're all connected. And he talked about, especially, we just had Earth Day, a while back, and he talked about how the plants, the rivers, The flowers are all connected in a way of helping one another. And so we are not isolated as people. So if that is not your experience, yet we are still connected with our brothers and sisters that are affected in different ways. So there are reaching out to our dioceses that have a prison ministry outreach, or other churches, other our Protestant brothers and sisters do those things as well. So if the Catholic Church isn't doing it, what can you do there? But also, even if it's not prison ministry, looking at who are the marginalized and those on the peripheries in your own society or church neighborhood or church network or school or whatever it may be, and being that presence of Jesus, not necessarily bringing Jesus to them, but encountering the Jesus that's already there, right? We're not coming to come in as saviors, because sometimes, and I found this myself, when I go to the margins, God is waiting there to save me, right? As Father Greg Boyle has said in the book, Father Joseph Brown and Bishop Perry, who wrote parts of the book as well. Um, it's important for us to recognize that fact is, yes, we may not come from those communities, but we are all connected, and the needs of those communities are our needs as well.
Totally. Yeah, we all need to be saved and ministered to. So, Dr. Ansel, where can people buy the book?
Okay. Well, it's available, as on all publishing websites, that are out there, you look it up. But I recommend going to loyolapress.com and looking it up there, Praying with Our Feet, the link that's there, and is purchasing the book and, helping others know about it and spreading the word that we all have a purpose, no matter what it is that we do or where we're from.
Yeah, and I love the cover of your book. It's really beautiful. So we'll encourage everyone to check out I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. The Praying with Our Feet, Encountering God in the Margins.
Amen. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care.
You too.